Hi, I'm an old guy and I do maths, and today we're going to look at what is a very simple idea, but it rattles some people and they have difficulty understanding it. We're going to look at the areas of rectangles and triangles. Now, nobody seems to have a problem with the area of a rectangle. Area is a fairly simple idea. It is the space on a shape. It is the space on the surface of a shape, let's put it that way. So the area of a rectangle is the space enclosed by these lines here. And how we work that out on a rectangle is we take the length and we multiply it by the width. It's very simple. L times W. So if this is 5 and this is 2, the area of this is 10. Nothing could be easier. Now that holds true for all rectangles, including squares. So I'll just draw a little square here. And we'll say that that is 3, and that is 3, and that is 3, and that is 3. Now the area of this square is the length times the width. It is 3 times 3. It is 9 units squared. We don't know what the exact length, what the measurements are, whether they're inches, feet, centimeters, whatever. So we just call it units square. Now, the thing that sometimes bothers people is how we find the area of a triangle. And in order to demonstrate that, I'm going to draw a rectangle. I could do this with a square, it doesn't really matter, but I'm doing it with a rectangle. The rectangle concerned doesn't have to be one with 90 degree angles in each corner. It is just for the purposes of this demonstration. So here's a rectangle. Now, what we can do with that rectangle is we can draw a line across it, badly, but there's the line, as best I could. And what we have is we have two triangles. Triangle 1, triangle 2. And all we have done is put a line through this. Now, please recall that we find the area of a rectangle by multiplying the length times the width. What have we done here? Well, we've put a line through this and we've split it into two. We've hopefully, although please don't try and measure this, we've hopefully split this exactly in two. Now, we still have width, we still have length, but we're only dealing with half the space if we go looking for what the area of the shaded part of this is. So, how do we go about that? Well, there are two ways. And we use a slightly different vocabulary, which hopefully will make sense when I draw the triangle like this. So we call the bottom of a triangle the base, and we call this its height. Now, if I were to turn this page around, which I will do, this would become the base, and this would become the height. It's essentially width and length, but we just give it another name. And if this were a rectangle, which I draw in with a dotted line here, I hope you can see that. Maybe I'll colour that in a little bit more so you can see that a bit better. Were this a rectangle, the area of this would be that times that. But it's not. It's only half of that. So we come up with a formula that the area of a triangle which is what I've written badly there, area of a triangle, is equal to the base times the height divided by 2. Or, because this is half, we can write it another way. Both of these are equally valid. It's a half base times height. So from this little 5-minute video, you should be able to get 2 formulas. The formula for the area of a rectangle, whether it looks like this or like this, is the length of it times the width of it. Sometimes people want to say the base times the height. That's absolutely fine. But generally it's length times width. We can create a triangle by cutting this in half, so we're only dealing with half the area. So the way in which we find the area of a triangle is multiplying the base by the height of the triangle and dividing by 2. Or multiplying base times height by a half, which is exactly the same thing. Now, there aren't many formulas that you're expected to remember in mathematics. You're expected to remember these, and you're expected to remember this one. Length times width equals the area. Those two you are expected to remember. Thanks very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. See you next time.